they're told to back down, stand down by the editors of their newspapers or magazines, or once Bobby was appointed AG, now he's getting with the FBI, he's getting phone calls from across the country and promises of all kinds of evidence, and it's coming across his desk. Once Bobby goes in as AG, and Joe Kennedy, the Kennedy family even said this, they said Joe wanted Bobby in to make sure that none of those accusations/allegations went anywhere. He's the only one we can trust, Joe said, to make sure that all of these accusations of voter fraud and all this other stuff, they were terrified that the election could be reversed or they could even end up in jail. So, Joe, and I source everything in these books.
I literally, like, I tell people this all the time. When I look at books, especially people who are like going to come in here, I go to the sourcing in the back just to see like how in depth it is, and it's really in depth.
Big time. Listen, not only Jules, not only do I source things, but I want to go find the original source.
Yeah.
So if somebody, let's say it's 1965, and somebody mentions something about the 1960 election, I want to find where the 1965 publication got it from. Maybe I find 1963. Then I want to find where the 63 got it from, a newspaper clipping in 1961. I go back all the way to find the original source because I want to test the original source.
Should have been an FBI agent.
I would fix everybody. Yeah. I mean, I think like that, you know. I never got caught doing the crimes I did. I never knew that a snitch could just talk and push away.
You did 8.5 in prison.
No, but I never got caught in the process. In the commission of the crime.
Okay.
We got away. I was hoping to survive.
Right.
10 minutes later, every time. When I'm done.
Just step ahead, live front, eh?
Well, no, I didn't know the laws. I didn't know that. And that's the RICO laws. And I'm going to tell you, the RICO laws are despicable. And
Despicable.
Even though I got one.
G. Robert Blakely's not going to be happy to hear
G.
that.
Robert Blakely should have worked for the Gestapo. Because that law, seriously, that law is, it's basically, okay, so let's say I'm a criminal, and I just came here after a heist, and I got my stuff out in the back, in the truck, and I'm hanging out with you guys. According to G. Robert Blakely,
Welcome to Houston, Texas, and the House Bill
I talk about it with you and say, look,
home to
truck
the
outside, I'll take care of it
with a
later. I
fan
know what you're
are ready for liftoff.
simple.
Today,
And they try to tell you it's not. If they want it to be, if the prosecutor wants to drag you in on it,
feels a little
they
bit
can.
bigger.
They can.
We'll
And it
see
can
a
be
team
a case.
looking for its
I spent
first win.
36
The
months
Texas Tech Red Raiders.
citing my cases. I went through 7 attorneys. William Johnson.
The Houston Cougars. College football, I'm Rich Davis. Thank you for all again. Just over with me. Guys, it's time to get it going.
I went through. So I case for a reason.
Houston about to kick off to get things underway.
And he said that briefly represented somebody who's on the other side of the case. And he had to come home flat. So
he thought about bringing that out for a half second, but he'll take a knee and they'll bring it to the 25. The Red Raiders offense will get the first possession of the game. And here he is, guys. Anytime he takes the field, he is in complete control of this offense.
And David, he gives defensive coordinators nightmares because of his ability. They're going to have a hard time slowing him down.
No, he just doesn't have those weaknesses, those flaws. The whole playbook available.
So
when you're playing against the defense of this caliber, you're going to have some sort of balance, right? You can't just...
Thank you guys for checking out this clip. If you haven't already subscribed, please subscribe and hit the like button on this video. It is a huge, huge help. And if you'd like to check out this clip's full podcast episode, that link is in the description below or right here. And finally, you can follow me on Instagram and X by using the links in my description below.
Every single play. Nothing going on that last run. They're going to have to find another way to get it going, handing the ball off.
After getting knocked back to open this drive, it's 2nd and 12.
Guy promises us.
He's looking to throw.
So
Grab behind the line. It's Johnson.
Frank Sinatra,
Just never gives you a clean shot at him as he gets out to the 28. It's been a rough start for these guys, and you look down the schedule in the Big 12, there aren't many soft landing spots.
Well, no doubt about it. This team has had some bad breaks early this year in Big 12 play, but they've got to make good things happen, David. They've got to do a better job of executing offensively, defensively, on special teams, and it's got to start today.
Yeah, finding a way to make those critical plays. Because you know, what do you know in the Big 12? There's always going to be a lot of scoring, right? And they've come up short, but I think as you find yourself throughout the season, you got to realize, I got to rip those comments, I got to make those plays. And once you do it once, and maybe that today,
Johnson.
So the Houston Cougars offense has its first opportunity of the day. And if these two guys wind up getting matched up, David, we'll see what wins, speed or force.
Yeah, and you love to be physical and set the tone, and this linebacker does that consistently. Now, Jesse, keeping up with the speed on the other side, that's a different answer.
Might be different, but we're going to see this receiver work underneath on some drag routes. You better be careful. You do not want to get caught in the wash against this linebacker.
He'll come out throwing on first down.
What
a snag by the defense.
Anti-gambling legislation for committee would never been able to form. So
And they capitalized not only on the pick, but the great return to give the offense tremendous field position.
Not all DBs make the play at the end, right? They can bat the ball down, they can be in position, but they don't really secure the football. Great job by the DB securing the football and forcing the turn.
Extra grab in the end zone. Touchdown, Red Raider.
That is exactly what most offenses will do. Big momentum play. The defense creates a turnover. I'm being aggressive. I'm going for the big score, the big play down the field. They get rewarded, and they get the big passing touchdown.
And the extra point makes it 7-0. Almost ready to kick it away after scoring the touchdown. From inside his own 10, he'll try to help out their field position. Couldn't find a way to create that broken field as he stopped at the 25. Houston sending the offense back onto the field. After that last pick, David, they really need to take care of the ball this time.
No doubt. And Palmer, I want to know what Spurrier said to you on the sideline after a pick.
Do that again, and you'll be right here beside me.
He's dropping prices.
You got to go out. You got to call your plays. And I hope this coaching staff isn't going to be afraid to throw it this way.
So, for example,
and a big play on the outside. What a job to keep those feet in bounds and get the completion.
This defense is going to have their hands full because they're going to need to be comfortable with guys one-on-one on islands in the perimeter of the field, and they're just going to have to make better plays than what we saw right now. They knew this offense was going to try to be aggressive. Got to need better effort in the back end of this defense.
After the quarterback and receiver failed to hook up, they'll try it again on second down. And they drag him down, but not before he picks up the first down.
Here we go. If you're an offense, you've got to get that ground game going so you can have some balance, and then you give it to your quarterback, Palmer, and let him make some plays down the field.
Fires a ball, now it's picked off. Got room on the return. The 30. Inside the 10. And with the interception, he'll take it all the way back. Touchdown, Red Raider. It is one thing to come up with the interception. No, don't stop there.
Outside of Chicago,
make a big play and don't be content. That's right. Go out and make an even bigger play. He does. He makes the pick and then takes it all the way back to the house. Looked like a wide receiver for goodness sakes. Turn on the Jets, making the big play.
They're about to kick it away, and the defense probably can't wait to get back out there after the pick six. He'll bring it out from inside his own 10. And the coverage team able to make the tackle. The Houston offense ready to go back to work. To say this has been a slow start is a bit of an understatement, and they really need to get it going here, Jesse.
That's right. They're firing on all cylinders right out of the gate. Offensively, for this unit, they've been slowly struggling. They need an explosive play to wake themselves up.
And it's just the first quarter, so it's not the end of the world. You've seen slow starts. But you got to continue to pick and pick and pick. Continue to find that play or that scheme that you can use against this defense.
So, P.S.
On 3rd and long, trying to have a big completion here. And the pressure gets to him down. Goes the quarterback.
This is prior to
quarterback sacks is a trend that
this
this
is,
offense would like to put into pretty quick. Somehow they were able to win their last game out, even though they gave up 4 sacks in that one. That was a huge point of emphasis for this coaching staff. And here early in this one, first quarter, they've now already given up 1.
Texas Tech ready to send the offense back onto the field. Jesse, a very productive drive last time, wound up with a touchdown.
Yeah, mixing and matching play calling really well. Nice balance on that last one, Dave. We'll see what they can do here in this next drive.
Yeah, and I don't expect anything different. When you put together a drive like that, I would do more of the same. Keep the pace, keep it going.
Halfway there on first down, it's 2nd and 5. Trying play action. Now he's going to glide away from pressure. And he scoots his way to the first down and then slides to avoid the hit.
Defense is all about creating negative plays. And he does a really good job at the quarterback spot of not taking sacks. Like, that's a great job. He wants to throw the football. The clock goes off, he takes off, and gets a positive gain.
We'll give him a couple on that one. 2nd and 8 coming up.
And that's what you try to do as a defense. Limit those damages when they run the football. Get them on the ground, short gains to set your defense for positive situations down the road.
Finds his man. And how about that catch and run? So dangerous, this guy.
Nice job by the running back, catching the football and understanding where the first down marker was. I got to go get that first down. Did a nice job.
They said, no, we don't trust them. So they're the holdouts.
And the Red Raiders are moving quickly down the field.
Then they back Nixon in the general.
Coming out on first down with the play fake.
Kennedy
got it in the middle with Romero.
Not disputing
and
that
chunk plays are the name of the game, and they get one here before the
seats on the
defense
commission. These are,
finally makes the stop.
I guess, like legendary gangsters, you would say.
Will snap it on 1st and 10.
Top of the to the cap.
From the red zone, he's going to throw it. And his sophomore able to wreak some havoc and get the sack.
Look at this
You don't
history.
want to see this trend continue.
I don't want to jump too far ahead here, but just on a general basis, why were 2 guys like that, who weren't even from New York or Chicago, able to
not keep getting their
override,
quarterback hit?
you know, I guess, what were some thoughts? I'm not just talking about
That's
Kennedy
the
right now.
last thing you want as an offense, a negative play, a sack on first down.
So I'm going to tell you why.
On 2nd down, he'll let it fly.
I'm going to tell you
Not
exactly
a little
why.
time, lets
So
it
they're
go.
not necessarily
It's complete to the right. They bring him down, but a solid pickup to put them in position to pick up a first down. Really need to pick up this conversion and avoid having to settle for the field goal.
Was basically
On 3rd and long, try to convert through the air. Took a shot as he threw. That pressure got to him, and he just had to chuck it out of bounds.
later.
Nice
Imitate
job
they
by the
call
defense. They're
like
mixing
they had
up
a
their look. They're 3rd and long in field goal range. They go zone coverage. So everybody on the back end has the eye on the quarterback, and they're able to break on the
at the head
ball,
of the
force
table.
the
It's part of his round table. We all have an equal vote. There might be some more in the office, as George Orwell said, right? But for the most part, they're supposed to sit there. Each guy gets a vote. Now, as time went
Right down the
guys like
boulevard is
Chicago.
good. And that will extend their lead even further. We check in with Kevin Connors. What's going on, Kevin?
Guys, let's get you up to speed on what's going down in this fun college football game today. The Hawkeyes have been hanging in there, but they're going to need something to break it away and see. They're up by a field goal over USC. We'll circle back. If anything big happens, you need to know about it.
And how about that one? Kevin will be keeping an eye on everything going on elsewhere.
Is a real boss, not Sam Giancana is an actor.
They'll try it over the left side. Just enough there to get it to the 25. They pick up a 2. After picking up a couple at 2nd and 8.
Okay. These guys.
He's looking to throw. Shoots it to the left. Makes a connection. And he almost ran away from everybody on that one. A huge pickup on that play. The offense setting up shop. That's a 46, 1st and 10.
Tries to teach them and tell them. And they rule against him. And he always goes
Try
home
to
and
get
says
the
the
edge with
spaghetti
a quick
is
touch
one
pass.
vote.
Wrestled to the ground after picking up the first down.
I love that play call. I love the timing of the pre-snap motion. Because the quarterback was able to get it to the receiver right behind the offensive line, because of the timing, he was able to outflank the defense. That puts him out in space where he's able to use his speed. Nice job with the pre-snap motion.
They come to the line with a minute to play in the opening quarter.
Forget this guy's got independent
catch in the middle. It's Thomas. Excellent job working through the air. They're finding a hole in that defense and picking up a first down.
I like this tight end. He does a really nice job on his route running. He's been beating man coverage. He can find the soft spots in the zones. You got to get him involved.
It's his moves now.
And they couldn't make the connection on the long shot.
That's an example of the offensive coordinator trying to be aggressive and trying to take a shot. The offense isn't able to click on that play, but moving ahead in the second half, it's important. They continue to dial up these big plays. You want to stay aggressive, and you want to keep testing.
It was like a satellite of his empire.
You're saying it's basically victory by geography.
On second down.
And it'll be incomplete.
This is some physical pass defense.
In places like this, they're not
clicking
really
along,
set
but
up in
after a
those
couple of
places, so to speak. They're
misfires,
just
threatening to stall out on 3rd and 10. Safe completion on the screen. They finally get him stopped, but what a good job by that front wall to set up the screen and create some lanes for their running backs.
That's one of the nice for.
That's the end of the quarter, and Texas Tech is on top. They largely dominated this first quarter as indicated by the stats.
He made that behind his back. Yeah, Don Zawaro, the Zawaro cactus. Yeah. So we started calling Don Zawaro.
This could be a pivotal moment in this game as we open the second period and they try to find a way to answer.
So back
then, down to start the drive after the break.
So these guys said, we don't trust Kennedy, and they were big enough for Marcelo.
The run from the shotgun. He tried to find some running room, but they get him stopped. They can get pretty wild in the Big 12. Some of these outposts are like snake pits when you have to go on the road. Got to get off to a quick start in conference play.
And it's always whack streaks. Like there's always something that happens in the Big 12, and somebody comes out of nowhere in the Big 12 every single year. So starting in conference play, these games start to really matter, really add up, and the pressure amplifies.
It's so true, too. Think about the Big 12 conference. It just seems like teams get caught sleepwalking. So you've got to start fast. The challenge, I think, for these candidates.
And kids like in a state like Louisiana where they'd be like, these goddamn Italians come to hell, they and they're like,
it's pretty easy to follow an offensive line that makes those holes and just gives you a caravan.
That's it. So now he's dishing out campaigns. He's got the meta. He's got
and with the extra point, they closed within 10, down 17-7. They marched 78 yards down the field and closed the deal with a 3-yard touchdown run.
Try doing it work now.
Just Kennedy.
And he'll just hit the knee, and this drive will start at the 25. Texas Tech has it back, and the Red Raider offense on its way to the field. Always good to get points on a drive, David. But field goals can leave you a little empty.
And I think it's great to get points, but the great teams get touchdowns in the red area. You got to get out there, Scott, and execute a little better on this offense.
You're absolutely right, David. Generally, the best red zone defenses are the ones that run the ball the best. So let's see if they can be a little bit more physical.
For the U.S. Navy.
Just a quick rhythm throw there and really good use of the tight end.
Yeah, good use of the big fella. I mean, go through your progressions real quick. You can't find anything. Get the easy game. Don't take a shot down the field all the time. Take those shots later, but take those easy, wide open opportunities to get some positive challenge.
It's third down from their own 34 as they try to keep the drive moving. They'll try to run for it, and he'll get it up to the 38. It'll be a first down. And the Red Raiders come to the line with a new set of downs.
Offenses that are great on third downs, what do they do most of the time? They keep it in manageable situations where they're not predictable, not just dropping back to pass. They do it here on third and short. They convert. This offense offense has been so efficient on third downs all throughout this season.
On second down, he'll try to make the connection this time. Gets it out quickly.
I really like this slot receiver because of his shiftiness, and you see that on his route run. Really, really nice job creating separation for his QB.
The short hands, it's Romero. Good pick up there. They'll move the chains, and they're set up at the 41.
This offense is clicking, everything working together really well. Coordinator, quarterback, offensive line, good rhythm, good flow. Defense is going to have to find something to kind of mess up this game.
Yeah, I'm standing there going, I heard anything about
the
this.
Red Raiders are moving quickly down the field.
I was in my street, this. And so I just said, if I can tell this
Off the play fake on first down, wants to throw.
If I can find it,
just too much of a rush, and down goes the quarterback.
Yeah, you're telling the history of something that's still relevant, as you point out, through the little actors in the movie to people today. Because as I understand it, if I remember correctly, they caught some of the guys.
They're having difficulty again. These guys up front have got to do a better job communicating and giving their
Let's fast forward to 1968. You're 14 years old at the time, and you're in boarding school at the Georgetown Preparatory School in Maryland. Your father, Bobby Kennedy.
This drive was rolling, and then it got thrown into reverse. Here's a 2nd and 18.
June 5th, 1968.
He's looking to throw. Gets rid of it. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact on the play, but no flags. It'll be third down. This will be the 8th play of the drive, but a great opportunity for the defense to get off the field. On 3rd and long, hoping to throw beyond the sticks. Snagged in the middle. It's Johnson. They ripped off a big one, and they get it down to the 27.
History of something that's still relevant, as you point out, through the little actors in the movie to people today. Because as I understand it, if I remember correctly, they caught some of the guys who did it, but then there's like a lot of... Yeah, a little side note on that, but I was telling you about Paul Rosalie and how he was the first guy who ever mentioned you in the studio back in episode 124. We were talking about Lost City Disease and David Kramer's first book. And I read the book.
And I got to be able to throw you the football, and you can do that right there. I know you're going to catch it, and I can depend on it.
Dialing up the 2nd down pass play. Caught over the middle. It's Johnson. They get him on the ground, but it's a first down.
You won't save the
inside the 15,
yes.
1st and 10 from the 14.
Do a show with you. Come down and film with you. Quickly realize like some things and trying to package it up and stop it from happening. And they would give in, and it would mostly be fine. And so he's like, okay, this is all right. And then they call him up and they say, because they were filming down in the end zone, remember that? They call him up and they say, yeah, so how badly do you want to save the end zone? And he's like, I mean, that's why we're doing this. And they're like, okay, well, the way we're going to sell this story is we need to now call it eating a lion. And how do you feel about
he was telling me that some of the guys talking about this morning saying like they're going to go script. So I prepared myself. I was like, you know what though? It's over 30 years. That's what we need around here. So let me say for you, I'm running. Said, she's a very nice lady. He said she was engineering. She was there for engineering. And she wanted more money. So her interest in she wasn't somebody say she was professional. He said she just cleans everybody and she didn't ever cause anybody out her wrong doing. She's a nice lady.
They came in, and then he got more shit. This is how these, that's how it was too. This is how it works.
She was there for 5 years. She's going like that.
You don't control it. And
on 2nd down, looking again to throw. Sends it downfield. And that's going to be incomplete. Going for broke on 2nd down. The 3rd down's coming up. That last incomplete pass has him staring at a 3rd and 3.
I control every sentence. I control her fate. I control the photograph.
On 3rd and short, they'll go to the power running game. Finally,
saying
fourth down, but not before moving the change for a first down.
Well, with the weapons this offense has, you knew it was just a matter of time in the run game before someone was going to break a long one. They've just been running into a wall that just couldn't seem to find their creases.
He's going to try to hit him deep.
Because
And they took a shot on that one, but couldn't make the connection. It's incomplete. After the misfire, now on second down.
And so
He's looking to throw.
I don't even have an email yet.
And he was
I can't even put my computer on.
Third and long from the 42. If they can get some of it, it might give them a chance to go for it on fourth down. Throwing right. He makes the catch.
We're doing stuff
And
that
perhaps a touchdown. He gets it down at the 37.
And listen, the defense
after they
knew
get
coming out of
say
this
that
one,
they're
they
going
were
to signal
targeting
policy.
him early and
They
often. He is
had to go in
and there's
somebody
no
else.
mystery where the quarterback's going to be on critical down and distances. Let's see how they're able to cover him
Love
the
it.
rest of the game.
Houston coming to the line with a new set of
This is
downs.
the way I do it. I've been doing this a long time. I put my outlines.
They'll throw it on first down. Looking to the big tight end. Got it in the middle. It's Thomas. Makes the grab back down, and he's got it at the 25-yard line.
That's very well to
Really want to try to pick up at
talk for a
least
good while.
half of the yardage needed on first and 10. And that one's incomplete. We're taking a shot there, but couldn't hook up.
Since I read second, I've already
First way I did receivers
you got Tom background. We knew he was very well. Talk for him. He's a Spanish manager for Lubbock. He's the same position he's on.
And then he was also a prison escape
Lubbock
artist.
playing.
I mean,
They're on spring break for school, so if they
Well,
only
great job
get
there
here,
by the defense because they weren't able to get him sacked
he's
right
so
away.
excited to
He
come out of
took
clean.
advantage of the back end.
No.
The quarterback didn't get
Nah,
sacked
my
right
boy,
away.
that I'm close with so far. Well, Lamone, he's a Cowboys fan too. He's a maintenance man. That's what I'm always with. He's a freaking finish or right off.
The defense able to bring him down. Timeout is called, and it's the defense wanting to make sure that everyone's on the same page for this big down.
Because he came to work, even though he had thin.
Showing that big range from 48 yards out. And for a quick update, let's go to
It takes about 3 hours.
It's a final now for one of the more intriguing games of the week, that notable top 25 clash. Oregon overcame a tough opponent, and not only that, a raucous crowd. The Ducks tuned out all the noise and showed this team can win on its field, your field, or a field. Well done. Really unexpected outcome in this ranked-on-ranked matchup. The type of loss, guys, that'll get the attention of even a good football team.
And Kevin Connors keeping an eye on everything all over the country. Sounds like they had a good one there. And here comes the offense on second down. Got it on the outside. It's Johnson. And that defense
Do that whole
doesn't
box away.
allow a cutback, and they get him out
See
of
the
bounds
video
after a
thing?
short gain.
How they really
Ball's
doing?
at the 29. Defense can taste getting off
I
the
can fix some
field.
stuff too. That was my office.
From the gun, wants to pass.
So that's
That box came from
Beautifully placed
God.
ball to the outside, and the toe drag for the big pickup. The
Right, so
offense
you
will
I
put it
can
in
watch
play
what
from
we're
the
talking about.
47 on first and 10.
They were doing specifically, like backward.
He's going to pass.
early on.
No, it's half pictures of that.
Makes the grab. And he'll be taken
I remember
down,
showing
but he
to you
does
on
have
the phone.
enough for the first
That's
down.
in my
Here's
office.
this offense with a fresh set of downs.
To represent, I guess, the nation.
He wants to throw.
To
Coming after it. The quarterback scrambled around, but the defense able to scramble him and turn it into a sack. The offense calls timeout. It's the second one they've used this half. These guys are bringing serious heat. They are like sharks swarming and just getting after the passer.
You got
The
something to
offense
speak in
will
there?
stop the clock and use one of its timeouts.
He does a really good job. You want to get a huge play. You got to push the ball down the field. You need a bunch of yards. But wait a minute. Now he can just tuck it, scramble, go get you a bunch of yards. Now put you in a great third down situation.
You got Dan Ford,
You've got to get the defense credit for that play, taking everything away, forcing the incompletion. Now it's decision
That's
time.
right,
Fourth and
coach.
short, and you're in field goal
That's
range.
coach.
What are you going to do here?
Right.
The Red Raiders will try to pin them back with the punt. This will be the second time they've had to kick it away.
It ain't no coach.
I watched their clips right there.
Punt goes out of bounds, and a nice job to get them backed up. I think they'll spot it right around the 15.
Seeing the
Time dwindling away as they try to put points on the board right before the
to their
half.
descendants of people who have been murdered during this crusade.
So the trades has come
From the gun, the kid looking for room. That's what you expect from a senior. Don't give them any extra yards. Great tackle there. We played 2 quarters here. Time to go to Kevin Connors in our halftime update.
Dude, look at this guy, man. How many times I say this on different podcasts, different contests, but whenever I'm in state,
just about ready to go in the
78
second half.
right over there on the formation. I'll see it on the small paper.
From inside the 10-yard line, he'll bring it back. Really disciplined job by the coverage unit to get down there and make a stop at the 19. Here comes the Houston offense once again. Those 2 first-half turnovers really damaging in the primary
I might get them out there for the summer.
trailing to start the third quarter.
And this is an offense that prides themselves on taking care of the football and then having explosive plays. You know they're mad. They know they're the reason why they're down in this game. So I expect them to come out here lighten up here at the first drive of the second half.
Yeah, and this defense playing fast, playing physical, forcing things into action, forcing those turnovers. They played really well in this first half.
On second down,
Such a way to put Yankees up that day.
He's off to the races.
After this race,
Touchdown, Cougar! And here they come all the way back.
Really nice job working the route, getting himself open. He's able to locate the football, snag it out of the air. This guy now has 5 receiving touchdowns on the year.
And the extra point is good as they close to within a touchdown, 24-17.
they get some real things, but the reason you try to get this fix.
The kickoff unit about to go to work.
Ride with me. In your lunchbox.
They control those. And that goes back to
Get you a little thermos.
And they thought about a return, then thought better of it. They'll bring it out to the 25. Texas Tech ready to send the offense back onto the field. After giving up that last touchdown, they still got the lead, but now feeling a little bit of pressure to answer with one of their own, David.
Man, they get some
Before they flip, it's in
That's
this
just I ain't never that kind of goal.
they really love here. Steal some momentum back in this
I'm mad at myself this morning, shit. For that, I got the whole 30 minutes early.
I like the pass.
I'm gonna do that when I want to get in my office for the first 30 minutes or an hour. Get my thoughts together in.
If they can convert here, that type of play can really give you a shot of momentum.
So as soon as you swipe that ball, I look before running.
Going up top. The sweet feet keeping the play alive.
Walk in, speak to everybody.
Kevin?
I think going into halftime trailing,
That would be
this
like if we
defense
were
knew
doing
that
top
they were going to have to start making plays here in the second half. And early in the third quarter here on this drive, they get a sack. That is really good news for this defense.
Most times, yeah, safety. I'll go in at 7. I might not know what they got going on. I might not go outside for the first time until 2 o'clock.
First down for this offense.
Depending on the job.
Keeping it on the ground.
Days I might not go outside and all that for long.
And he doesn't find much running room. A short gain on the play.
I'm not go outside it out.
Didn't get much on first down. It's 2nd and 9.
Mila, did you eat all your food?
He's looking to throw.
No.
A little screen to the running back. And the completion gives him a fresh set of downs and keeps his drive moving. Lots of good stuff on that play. You slow down the rush, you get a completion, and you move the chains.
And most importantly, you're right. You don't force a short yardage situation that you have to get. Nice job. Invite that rush up the field. Take advantage of the aggressiveness of the defense. Make the catch. Make the run. Get the first down.
It's now 1st and 10 from the 24-yard line. able to pick his way forward for a decent game before the defense gets him down. After the productive first down play, it's 2nd and 6. Leaves it with the back. A run up the middle is stuck for no gain.
This is a defense that we know takes tons of pride stopping the run. That's where it all starts and ends with them, and you saw a great effort on that last play.
I got back at Austin.
On 3rd and long, he's going to have to throw for it. Pressure is on the way, and the pressure has arrived, and down he goes at the 30. And here comes the field goal unit for the 2nd time tonight. And that is no good. After that miss, still a 7-point game, guys.
Texas Tech, 24, Houston, 17.
Texas Tech has it back, and the Red Raider offense on its way to the field. Here's another opportunity, Jesse, to stretch out this lead after punting last time.
I think it goes back to your playmakers, Reese. I think it's finding the guys that have been working for you earlier on in this game and getting them the football.
Yeah, and there's obviously no need to panic. I mean, think about it. You got the lead. You got the football. You got to be smart with the football, make your plays, put a good drive together here.
Out of the gun, the running back has it. Just sort of a relentless run, getting everything that was available to him, and they'll mark him down at the 40. Lining up, trying to convert this 3rd and short from the 40. They'll try to move the chains on the ground. And he'll have enough for the first down at the 42.
And most importantly, they got the first. They've been getting pushed around up front this game and haven't created a lot of lanes to run the football, but you needed it. You needed that first down. You needed to get the sticks moving. You need to run some clock. So good job by the offense finding a little bit of space to get the first down.
Unloads quickly. Makes a grab, and he's dragged down.
I like the decision by the quarterback here. Just get the ball out of your hands, get it to your playmaker. A lot of times he'll dance and make even bigger plays than he did here, but it was still a positive game.
They'll line up for a 2nd down play. He's looking to throw. Fires to the big fella. And good coverage by the defense, just a short gain. Just shy of midfield at the 47. The defense needs a 3rd down stop.
I'll say this, man. In college football, you see a lot of bad tackling. You didn't see it right there. That was an awesome job. First off, being there at the point of attack. Once the tight end made the catch, there was no doubt he was going down. Great job form tackle.
And the Red Raiders look to keep this drive going.
Why is Bob fucking brand new fucking coffee? How the fucking money making run that place?
Halfway there on first down, it's 2nd and 5.
You know.
A little pre-snap eye candy for the defense.
I know they could go get fucking Michael. They might go so old school. You turn the motherfucking dial in the seconds like that.
They like to throw it to him out on the perimeter as he picks up a couple of yards.
When finish. But it ain't gonna push no numbers type shit.
Just outside the red zone, they'll move the chains. It's at the 21. The Red Raiders will have it 1st and 10. They'll move the running back to try to force the defense to adjust. Throws to the wideout. Excellent coverage and good use of the hands to knock it away.
Defense were always trying to get some tips. You know, break on the football, get a tip, get it up in the air. Nice job by the player breaking the football.
This time it's complete. He almost picked up the first down on that one, but he'll be just a little bit short. Really need to pick up this conversion and avoid having to settle for the field goal. He's moving out of the pocket. The Cougars just can't get a third down stop.
I'll tell you what, after that big gainer on third down, you might think about your quarterback running it again down here. It's hard to throw down close inside the 10-yard line. You've got to have some designed QB runs or give him a run-pass option on the perimeter. See if he can punch it in after that big gainer.
And brought down. Looks as if that's how we'll end the third. And talk about spreading the ball around. Everyone getting a chance to show off the hands based on the number of targets we've seen. Not only is the scoreboard on their side, but so too is time as we open the fourth. Can the defense stop them again on 2nd and goal? He's looking to throw. Steps away. Touchdown, Red Raiders! And they add 6 more to the board with that trip to the house. They've built a little cushion and now closer to getting a victory here in week 4. What a run for this playmaker to just elude the defense and get in for the score.
And I tell you what, defensively, you can't let this guy get on the edges. You cannot give up contain. When you're defensive ends, you got to stay outside. You got to make sure you know this guy's going to scramble and try to make plays, and you got to make sure you keep him in the pocket.
And the extra point is true, and they have a 2-touchdown lead, up 14 in the fourth. And let's check in with Kevin Connors in the studio. Kevin?
Top 15 teams colliding today in a huge matchup, and it's now a final. Missouri came through with a lunch pail, hard hat performance, and the end result is an eye-opening road victory. And I guess it's not so much that they won, it's more how they won. And the fact this wasn't ever really in question. Iron sharp.
Makes the grab down the left side. Nothing but green ahead. Touchdown, Houston. Hello. You thought they were done. They're not. They're back, baby.
Yeah, and that's simple, but it's not easy. It's a go route. Like that receiver streaking straight down the outside of the field. And my job as a quarterback is to put that ball up. Keep it away from the safety.
G7.
That receiver comes down with the catch. Nice pitch.
There we go, basic training.
And no chance at a return here. They'll start this drive at their own 25. The drive starts from their own 25-yard line.
I think it was, it was located off
the ground.
Nebraska.
Oh, it's loose.
Looks
like the offense was able to recover it. And it looks as if they buzzed down. Replay wants to have another peek at that last play. So the officials take a closer look, and the replay booth will overturn the call. They'll give it to the back. And they make the tackle, but he has plenty for the first down. Here's this offense with a fresh set of downs.
It's a point in the game, I think, as a coaching staff where you really challenge your offensive line to go win the football game, right? You've got to lead late. You're going to run the football. The defense and everybody in the stadium knows that's what's going to happen. Can we run the ball down their throats and impose our will? That's what this offense right now is trying to do.
And how about that interior defense stopping the run for nothing? Coming to the line of scrimmage on third down. From the gun, wants to pass. Catch in the middle, it's Myers. You know this sophomore has a big arm, and there were some revolutions on that one. And the Red Raiders are flying down the field. He looks that one in nicely. He's run out of bounds, but a big play on that one, and it'll be a first down. Here's this offense with a fresh set of downs. Comes out throwing on first down. Grabbed over the middle. It's Romero. They make the stop after the catch, and still some work to do to pick up that first down. This offense could not have executed in this situation any better, just draining some time off the clock. Fires to the wideout. Right on the money to the outside. He dragged the toe, and how about the ball placement? Only the receiver could get it. The Red Raiders racing to the line in the hurry-up. pull and throw off the RPO. And he motors into the end zone. Touchdown, Red Raiders.
You know, quarterbacks and receivers, they develop confidence and chemistry as the game goes on. These two right now are definitely on the same page.
And the extra point is true, and they have a 2-touchdown lead, up 14 in the fourth. The kickoff team out there and ready to go. Looking for an alley from inside his own 10. Buys just enough space to cross the 25. Let's mark it at the 27-yard line. Houston sending the offense back onto the field. They torched this defense with an explosive passing play for a score last time out. Let's see if they go right back at him. They're setting up the screen. Not a whole lot of room there on that screen pass, as it just never developed.
Well, and here's the problem offensively. Because you're trailing by so much so late in the game, the defense now is going to be playing big zone coverages, and they're going to allow you to throw the ball underneath in the middle of the field.
All kinds of running room. Big gain on that one as he steps out of bounds with a first down. That's the way you get things going. A huge play, and now attacking from just inside the red zone. Trying to cap this drive with the pass. It's on target and complete. He makes the stop almost as soon as he catches it, and they're short of the first down. Still some work to do after that last completion. It's second down. Grabbed in the middle. It's Singleton. He's close to the first down, but they're going to mark him just a little short. Really need to pick up this conversion and avoid having to settle for the field goal. Pocket starts to collapse. Get it out on the screen. And they wrap him up, but not before he's got enough for the first down. New center Dallas right on the doorstep for this offense. With the run on first and goal. Touchdown, Houston. And the comeback is on. Well, we wondered exactly where the momentum was, and it looks as if Uncle Mo might have switched sidelines and switched families.
And momentum is such a big thing. It's such a real part of college football, isn't it? You can just feel that right now. It just felt a few minutes ago like this game was over, and all of a sudden, this team, they're believing in themselves. They've got some wind. They've got some hope. Their defense now needs to get the football back and keep that momentum going.
Texas Tech ready to send the offense back onto the field. And they've got a little bit of a cushion here, David. If they can add to it on this drive, it would be nice.
And it definitely makes a little bit of a difference. Knowing I'm up by more than a field goal, obviously, Jesse, my mindset switches, and I know I can't make mistakes.
Yeah, and David, I don't think they have to reinvent the wheel on offense here. What they've been calling has been working. Just get back to doing what you're good at.
Use the play fake. Now to throw. Floats it out in space. And there is nothing doing on that one. You got the completion and nothing else to show for it. Let's see what they've got on second down. They'll run it, trying to drain time off the clock. They bring him down, and he's going to lose a yard on that one. What a big play this one could be. Tight game, getting late, third and long coming up. And the defense gets to the quarterback.
It is hard to continue to get up and get up and get up like he has, being sacked time after time again. But this QB, this offense, they're undeterred. They're continuing to put drives together, and most importantly, they're winning the football game.
Signals for the fair catch and makes it at the 20. The Houston offense ready to go back to work. How about that last drive? Just carved him up in the air, David.
Yeah, and how about that quarterback? You gave him the ball, and he delivered the goods. Great job taking apart the defense, Jesse, on that last drive.
He really did, David. I mean, that was a masterclass in just reading coverage and being accurate.
First down here with time for maybe one more play until the 2-minute warning. He'll try to do it himself. Stopped at the 47 after a 10-yard gain. Most important part of a clutch drive. Piece together some first downs. Get in position. And here they are on 1st and 10. Feeling the heat as he lets it go. It's caught. And what a job to get the foot down and make it a huge gain along the sideline.
Well, he was putting up big numbers coming into this one. We knew the quarterback was going to go his way early and often. And with that last catch, he's now got over 500 yards receiving on the year.
He pushes it forward all the way to the 2-yard line. Now the offense tries to punch it in on 2nd and goal. Tries again to get it in. And a really short game before he gets a whole bunch of company from the defense. If they can get it in here, we could have a thrilling end to this game. Touchdown! The quarterback sneak pays off as he gets it across the goal line.
What a massive play by this offense. Man, you needed it. Great execution. Now kick the extra point, tie this football game up late, or do you go for 2? Do you go for the win? You try to take the lead. That is a huge decision.
And that extra point was good, and we are deadlocked here in the 4th. So that scoring drive took only 6 plays. And what a huge scoring extra point there to get it tied in the final minute. We've got a dandy going here, all tied up in the 4th quarter and about to kick it away. He'll take a knee. It's a touchback save every second he can as they try to put together this final drive. Texas Tech has it back, and the Red Raider offense on its way to the field. A pretty good bit of ground to cover here, Jesse, but they've got some time to work with.
They do. So tempo is going to be important. You got to go fast. Just got to make good decisions at the quarterback position.
And those good decisions are throwing the ball beyond the sticks, using the sidelines to get out of bounds, try to maximize this time, and get in a position to win.
Didn't have much room to run and not a whole lot of help. Short game there and still plenty of ground to cover for the first down. The offense uses a timeout to stop the clock, and they'll get a quick breather. Now on 2nd down. He's looking to throw. Good timing on the quick out. He steps out of bounds, but it will be enough for a first down. Here's this offense with a fresh set of downs. He's looking to throw it. And he can't get it off. Taken down. What a huge play this late in the game. Looking to throw on 2nd down. He got a hand in there, knocks it away, incomplete.
You got to be impressed by what you've seen from this defensive line in the game because they're getting to the quarterback, they're getting sacks, and when they can't get there, they're putting their arms up and they're batting ball.
Gonna take a shot. Caught at the 25. He's running free down the middle. Touchdown, Red Raiders. And they've got the lead in the final minute.
And how about this offense, man? They knew they needed to execute. Great play calling, great drive, put it together. Now you got a chance to go up by 7 late in this ball game and then let your defense go on the field and seal it for you.
And the extra point was good. Lining up to cover the kick after that touchdown drive. From inside his own 15, looking for room. Able to find enough room to get it out across the 25. He's brought down at the 26. Got to get everybody lined up quickly. Time winding away, and they've got to push the ball down the field. Trying to get to it. And they get to the quarterback and knock him down back at the 16. They'll get the timeout with 5 seconds remaining to play. They've got to move quickly here. Still a chance, but they've got to force the ball down the field. Under heavy pressure, lets it fly. And it's picked off again. His night vision hasn't been on par. And that pick will seal the game as the clock strikes 0. This one was a lot like a tennis match, back and forth, up and down, and they just couldn't quite score enough and get the key stop to get the win.
And defenses have changed, right? It's not about limiting to low points anymore, but you got to find ways to create turnovers and get that ball back to your offense so they can do their damage. Defense just needed to create a few more opportunities.
I think it just came down to individual effort on the defensive side of the football for this team. Somebody needs to step up in big moments in big games and make the play to win. We didn't see it happen today.
That's going to do it for us from here. For Jesse Palmer, David Pollack, I'm Reese Davis, and this has been another presentation of EA Sports College Football. Welcome to Dynasty Mode. I'm Reese Davis, and it's time to start your coaching journey. First, select whether you want to play online or offline. An online Dynasty is where next, it's time to select your rosters. Choose to use the latest EA Sports recommended rosters featuring more than 1,000 additional players, or choose the rosters from our original launch. Now it's time to customize your Dynasty experience. Choose your settings, import your team builder created teams, and customize your conferences, complete with unique rules and protected rivals. It's now time to select your team. Do you want to build a team from the ground up or take over an established contender? Pay attention to each team's prestige rating, represented by the number of stars next to each team's name. Teams with a higher prestige will be ready to compete for the college football playoff right away, while lower prestige teams provide a greater challenge to build into contenders. The choice is up to you. And now you'll choose. Here, you'll choose to create a coach of your own, or now it's time to choose your coach archetype. Your starting choices are motivator, recruiter, and tactician. What is the most important thing to you? Acquiring players, maximizing player development, or putting your team in the best position to succeed? Congratulations. It's time to sign your first coaching contract. Make sure to pay